Friday, May 16th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I wanted to show you quite a contrast in the weather across the state of North Carolina this morning. Let's start with the Avalon Pier web camera. Look at the American flag just cranking there in the south and southeast winds. That is still ahead of the cold front working through the region. It is 71 degrees there along the Outer Banks with the southeast wind sustained at 8 miles an hour. Obviously, it's higher than that right along the beach there. Now, contrast that with Banner Elk. Now, the camera is a little out of focus this time of day, but look at the temperature. It is sitting right now at 33 degrees up there in the high country of North Carolina. So that cooler air is inbound. 43 in Boone. It's 46 in Asheville, but still 75 in Cape Hatteras and Elizabeth City. And that cold front continues to gradually work across the region. Ahead of the front, you have south and southeast winds. Behind the front, northwest winds. And so you can look at that map there, and you can clearly pick up that front is located right about, well, I'll draw that a little better, right about there actually. So that's slowly moving further east. Behind the front, drier air taking hold. Look at the dew points. It's 72 for a dew point in Jacksonville, 70 in Wilmington, but 34 for the dew point in Boone as that drier air takes hold across the region. Still, a lot of rain and thunderstorms over the eastern parts of the state, but that front continues to advance further to the east. Now, we do have another little disturbance back here in the Tennessee Valley, and that is going to move our way over the next 24 hours. More on that here in just a moment. Let's take a quick radar tour this morning, and there's your heavy rain still east of Interstate 95, some embedded thunder and lightning over that way, but that is continuing to gradually work further to the east. And again, behind that front, the drier air taking hold, there's some pretty nice clearing trends underway, meaning a good deal of sunshine is on the way for a large portion of the day here across the region. This was indeed a soaking rain event. The heavier rain totals kind of focused in a corridor from around Columbia over toward then the area along Interstate 85 east to around I-95. So basically in this corridor right there, that is where some of the heaviest rain totals occurred. Now, look off to the west, a couple showers over Middle Tennessee. That is with one final little disturbance pivoting around. It's an uphill battle for this disturbance to generate any precip east of the mountains today due to a couple factors. First of all, that much drier air mass that's moving on in. And also, our winds are out of the west, and so that means that it's a downsloping component to the wind when you get away from the mountain elevation. So that's a couple of negative factors in terms of generating any brief showers this afternoon. But I can't rule out just one or two very, very brief in and out showers late this afternoon. If you have evening plans, wouldn't worry about it. I don't think most of us will see any shower activity at all. And if you do, it will not last very long at all. All right. And then as we get into the weekend, looks like a partly sunny type of sky tomorrow. Some mountain showers a possibility. And then Sunday, a bit of a question mark. I'll show you more on that coming up in just a second. But let me again show you the dew points across the region, that dry air taking hold. And here's the dew point forecast as we head into the weekend. Look at that dry air just taking hold. This is lunchtime Saturday, and that is a very low humidity environment in place. High temperatures across the region today. There you go, 75 in Raleigh, 72 in Charlotte and Greensboro, 78 in Columbia. Looks like a very comfortable Saturday all around the region. Only 58 the high tomorrow in Boone. Low 70s for the I-85 corridor. Maybe even a little cooler on Sunday down across the Piedmont due to clouds and at least a very limited shower chance the further south you go. On to the other modeling. Here's what's going on aloft. This is 500 millibars on the European model. And again, this trough settling into the eastern part of the country. And now as you get into next week, this is Wednesday morning, it's going to be a bit of a battle here between this pretty significant upper level high in this ridge over the lower Mississippi Valley and this low pressure offshore. We could be right in that transition zone where it's actually getting pretty hot off to the west and still pretty cool off to our north and east. And you'll see what that looks like here in just a second in terms of this weekend. Now there's the GFS representation of Sunday. It is by far the most aggressive model with rain chances on Sunday. I cannot rule out a shower Sunday as another little disturbance pivots through, but I think the GFS is probably just a little bit overdone. Now, speaking of the GFS, as you get out to next week, this is Wednesday evening on the GFS, you end up with a a zone of some shower and storm chances right about there on the GFS model. It's a little bit further to the southwest on the European. This is Wednesday, at least a few showers and storms creeping down into parts of North Carolina. And that'll be the case, at least on the European model, and on through the afternoon hours on Thursday and Friday, too. So I have gone ahead and thrown in the chance of a few isolated storms Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week, and getting hotter, too, or at least warmer, with highs pushing well up into the 80s as we get toward Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday after mainly 70s Monday and maybe upper 70s to lower 80s Tuesday. All right, that is it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Everybody have a wonderful day, and God bless.